Um, so we're gonna go through our final defense. Statewide buyer and seller advisory. This is 11 pages. Standard disclosure. We'll cover pretty much everything. It may not apply to every property, but it will standard just in case you did not, get a chance to go over with it. As you can see here, the buyers have right and duty. The physical condition of the land and improvement being purchased are not guaranteed by the seller or broker. Okay, the first thing is protecting us already. Statewide buyer and seller advisory, SBSA, the 11 pages. 不是，这个我上次没讲过吗？没有，只讲这里。Oh, I'm so sorry. TDS, we still got one more left, right? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, then not yet. Okay, let me finish it. TDS only got the really last section. Okay. E, the D1. Okay. The seller that is a property as a close of the escrow will be compliance with the section 13113.8, the health and safety code by having operable smoke detector which are approved, listed, installed in accordance with the state fire marshal regulated applicable local standard. And 2, the seller certified that the property as a close of escrow will be compliant with section 19211 of the health and safety code, having the water heater, tank, brace, anchor, straps in place accordance with the appliance law. This is something they added in the TDS now. Usually it doesn't have it, but now they added in. And if those are, you have to be, doesn't matter, the seller suppose, okay, they sold as is, no repair. But they forgot smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, and the water heater bracelet. Too bad. You're going to have to install it. Seller. Bank, definitely, they will follow. No exemption. Yeah, no exemption, no exception. Since it will happen 3 years ago. Yeah. So that's why if the seller did not do it, it's the seller's fault. I know even it's not really cost much. Huh? Yes. Yes. No. No exemption for the bank because they really stated that when you talk about the smoke detector area, no exemption. Bank, they have to do it. 5, 6 years ago maybe, but that's a law. Because why? Why they still do the section? Because if you do not install it, you are against the law. It's not just you. I don't want to do it. No, you don't want to do it. Buyer can send you to the court. Well, even not much money to the small claim court, but it will definitely lose if the seller did not install it. When you add up everything, it's just a little bit over $100. Yeah, but if you don't do it, they can sue you after probably about $1,000. It's not worth it. But I mean, if some of us sellers so stubborn, they just don't want to do it. What do you want? What do you do? Listing agent? Buyer's agent? Yeah. You do it yourself. You don't have to because of $100 stuff. When it adds up, well, probably with the labor, probably $150 total adds up because $150 to $200. But doing with all the argument, it's not worth it. Your time is more valuable than this, $200 items. Okay, just do it because we did have those seller. Okay, and some of the buyer won't let go. Yeah, by law. But even sometimes when we even credit, can you actually? Some people say, can I credit those items to the buyer? Legally, no. It's law. You have to install it. Because why I'm saying that? You can buy the stuff, put on the kitchen counter. You tell buyer to install it. Okay, buyer did not install it. The buyer do it as an investment property. So tenant did not install it. When accident happened, whose fault is that? Seller. You go all the way back to seller. So I mean, that is something you gotta concern. If you could just have somebody install it, get it done, over with it. Even I know you can probably prove it. They say, hey, the buyer go through VP, they are satisfied. Yeah. You know, you can say, yeah, they are satisfied. Well, because they already left all the stuff in the on the kitchen counter. But just in case if nobody installed, just like if tenant doesn't like it and they tenant remove it by themselves. That's why landlord periodically check on their own property and also check on them, see if the tenant remove it or the tenant replace a battery. Why I'm saying that? When the accident happened, who suffered the most? Maybe tenant, but also landlord. Why? If somebody passed away inside the house, are you going to disclose it? Is that considered a natural death? Oh, yeah. Then you're going to disclose forever. So whenever you want to sell that property, you have to disclose it. It's going to affect it, right? So if you look at long run, even seller did not install it. As a buyer, when you did it, and before you rent it out, make sure everything is set. Okay. We just try to minimize whatever you can for lawsuit. That's
Do we need to supplicate?
Huh?
For the smoke detector or some feature?
Do
we need to supplicate like the licensed people do it? Or
No.
Don't need it, right?
No. I do it myself too. I don't have a license.
That's illegal?
Yeah, as long as there. As long as you know where to install it. Okay, let me kind of refresh your memory. Where we installed a small detector? Hallway? Yeah, what hallway? Not every hallway though. You don't install it outside the kitchen. You won't make the beeping sound all day long. No. Bedrooms. Outside the bedroom hallway and where? You talk about it's an old building code, that's on the hallway. But the new building code is every bedroom. But every bedroom, where do you install it in a bedroom? Well, I know it's ceiling, but which area, which ceiling? Door entry. So if the door is over there, you install inside the door, above that, the ceiling. You don't install all the way in. Yeah. You don't install all the way inside the bedroom. It's right on the entrance, inside the doorway, on the top of a ceiling. Yes. That's a new building code, and that's a requirement. That's what I'm saying. Every bedroom. So let's say, let me tell you, okay, if we have 4-bedroom house, 3-bedroom upstairs, 2-bedroom downstairs. 1 bedroom downstairs, 4-bedroom house. How many small detector we gotta install? 6. 4 in the room, and we got 2 hallway. You got 1 bedroom downstairs, 3-bedroom upstairs. So we got what? Outside the bedroom, we need 1. Oh, okay. Then we talk about a carbon monoxide detector. If we the same house like that, the 4-bedroom with the 4-bedroom, 2-story house, how many carbon monoxide detector we need to install? 2. Upstairs 1, outside the bedroom. Downstairs, outside the bedroom. Also on the hallway. But the carbon monoxide detector, you don't install on the ceiling. Where? Eye level or below? Eye level, lower. Because gas, carbon monoxide, is heavier. Smoke is light. So that's why when if you see that, the fire marshal tell you, okay, when you fire break out, what do? We crawl on the ground, right? Because the smoke, on the top, you will suffocate. But carbon monoxide is on the bottom. So if the really leak, on the gas or anything on the carbon monoxide, you have to open the window because they will condense, from the bottoms up. So the detector, if you have those, the plug one on the bottom, okay, that's fine because that's a low level. They will trigger first. But that's why the code is at least eye level or below. Usually, we kind of installed it maybe right next to like thermostat, the control, okay, air conditioning control right next to it. So you'll see it, yeah, all together because those are usually about like shoulder height where they installed it, yeah. Okay, water heater. The only thing that doesn't need an earthquake strap is tankless water heater, okay? This one is, well, they didn't really say tankless, but they say tank or tanks because some of the houses have got more than 2 water heaters. Every water heater needs a strap. But this has to be the tank. The one of those with a tankless doesn't need it. You know the new house? Those are tankless hanging on the wall? Yeah. I've been using that over 15 years, the tankless water heater, to save me a lot of space in the garage. So I can, put in a counter on the original, water heater space. No. I use a gas one. When the first one that just come out, you talk about, now it's actually 16 years ago. They do have an electric. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So water heater, how do we do the proper way? The water heater. Do you guys know how to strap? When they see it, I didn't tell you to strap it yourself. It's not easy. But what's the proper way to strap the water heater? Suppose all the inspector, they will tell you, okay, you wrap around the whole water heater, the anchor, right? Go around it, water heater, just like our belt. You have to go around it. You just cannot say, like water heater is right on this corner, and you just go strap it like that. The only thing you strap it like this, you gotta have a stud behind it. It's like you must push, for example, if that corner, you have to push either the water heater all the way to the corner, no space to the wall, or you have to put the stud on the wall so it will block the water heater. So the water heater has to against the stud or the wood, what you put it on, or you push all the way to the wall. Then you go around the anchor. Why? It's because when the earthquake comes,
They just want to make sure it's not moving. If you have a space on behind, it have a tendency it's moving. When it's moved, maybe water hose break, that's okay. It's only leak. But the gas hose break, hey, we light up and it's not fun. Okay, so that's an issue. But if you use a tankless water heater, that's a whole lot easier. Like electrical, you don't have to really worry about it. And when I using the gas, same thing when the water goes through. So my gas bill, I pay the gas company semi-annually. Why? $5 a month, sometimes $3 a month. Well, I hardly cook. So basically, what I using it when I'm taking shower. How much I can spend, a month. So I figured out semi-annually $60. You usually sometimes I totally forgot, and the gas company, they don't even care. The whole year, oh, $80. Okay, fine. Write the check. So those are really saving the money, because the water heater, regular water heater, is like when they drop the temperature, they will keep on blowing. So that's why it kind of wasting gas. But you get faster hot water than the tankless water heater, a little bit fast. Say if you turn it on, probably 15 seconds, you get hot water. But tankless, 30 seconds or maybe even longer, depending on where you're located at. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes that's why sometimes you need two. Okay. Just like last time, the attendant, they're complaining, hey, how come the house doesn't have a water heater? Hey, that's a 70 gallons water tank. Why? Because the house is 7,000 square feet. By the time you send the hot water to all the way at the end of the bedroom, gone. The 70 gallons is already gone. Then the wonder is that the hot water is not hot enough. So those houses, you gotta need an instant hot. What I'm talking instant hot is they always have a hot water inside circulating. That's right, the heating pump. That's why even when you are not turned on, they're circulating. So when you turn on, hot water coming out right away. But do you think that will cost even more gas? You could, but who knows? Unless you want to time it when you want to take a shower, then they will circulate. Yes, but that equipment is not cheap. I think what, $400-500, something like that. Yeah, last time I have them to hook it up. Is they already have the equipment, but it's not hooked up. I say why? So it's just need to hook it up, so it costs more. But if the whole equipment is not cheap though. Yeah. So that's an issue. Not exactly water heaters have an issue. It's just not enough. So if that's the case, usually if they spread it a 2 water heater, one on this end, one on the other end, hey, okay, faster. Just, that's why it's a big house. Just like thinking about that house, I think, it's only got about, how many bathrooms? 5. So, yeah, 4 bedroom, 5 bath. Yeah, but huge house. Well, I got the classmate. They live in a 10,000 square footage house. They got 8 bathrooms. All I know is they only have 4 condensers. 5. Air conditioning condenser outside, and that the 7,000 have 4. And that's otherwise, how do you get a section though? They get cold when you turn all the way on. Oh yeah, look at electrical meter is running fast. So that's why buying nice to live in a big house, but it's very costly. So we cleared on water heater, smoke detector, and the carbon monoxide detector. And certainly sell a sign. Then also here, the agent inspection disclosure. Before we don't have the agent visual inspection. So we don't really have this. So we never, that's why we get taught before, never check mark. Agent no item for disclose. Well, why? Because when you go to the court, a judge will ask you, are you blind? I mean, can you think the house is perfect? Well, Even a brand new house may not be perfect. How can you say rest of the house is going to be perfect? So never, never put agent noted. Have no item disclosed. At least agent noted the following item. Used to be, we stated right here. Okay, if anything, what we see, driveway crack, or a backyard concrete slab, a patio slab is cracked. Those are obvious. You write it down. Or stucco wall is cracking. Okay, something like that. Or if the house really got beat up, it got so many items, you don't know where to start to write. What usually I using the term is deferred maintenance. The house did not maintain. So the house, the condition is deferred maintenance or need attention or need a lot of upgrade. You just have to, say so. You gotta have to say something. Now we have the AVID. So put everything on agent visual disclosure statement. All right. So if the work on the two different agent, one from buyer's agent, one from listing agent, two form and need to sign by both seller and buyer, two AVID. If it's two different agent, separate, agent. Unless it's a dual agent, yeah, one AVID is enough. Like this case, I work as a dual agent, one. Because I only got two eyes. I can only see once, right? I wrote one time. I don't see anything different. Then on the bottom, seller, buyer sign, and both agents sign. So here, your buyers and seller may wish to obtain a professional advice and or inspection of the property and to provide for appropriate provision in the contract between buyer and seller with respect to any advice, inspection, and defects. So the TDS basically just a seller using basic knowledge, but same thing, we still encourage a buyer, you still hire the inspector. But even when you hire the inspector, just like yesterday, we look at the house, it has a cancellation. So we request the inspection report before we even look at the property. Okay, because I got an experienced buyer because I help him so many cases. James, can you ask the inspection report first? Sure, I'll ask the inspection. So listing agent, give me the inspection report. But one thing, we after we review an inspection report on Sunday, then we went to see the house yesterday. But the one thing is, like fireplace, they never inspected. What they did is visual inspection. Usually, I told my buyer, they will never inspect the fireplace. Did you ever see that any inspector light up the fireplace? They won't, because it's a gas usually, right? Okay. They're not gonna light it up because they don't know is there any gas leak or not. So they will not light up the fireplace. But if my buyer is so concerned, what do? I have to figure that out. I asked the seller, is the fireplace working? Well, obviously, I told my buyer, seller is Chinese, and the previous seller is also Chinese. What's the chance they're going to use a fireplace? I'm the Chinese. You gotta have to treat me more like American, but I speak Mandarin, okay? But I use a fireplace every year, frequently, because I like to see fire. I'm different, okay? I don't use furnace, on the air, the furnace, because I figure it's too dry. But I like to get the fireplace. It's more romantic. Even I'm alone, okay, at home. But you turn all the lights out, you look at the fire, it excite you. Like the fire in your heart. So that's, I did use the fireplace. Yeah. So I say, okay, we wait for see if the seller has a response. If not, I'll figure it out, something. Just see, I think the house is new enough. It shouldn't have any danger if we light up the fireplace. If some of an older house, I won't do it too. I won't do it either. Why? I don't know. Is there any gas leak? It light up. Yeah, it may burn my fire, right? Yeah, my eyebrows. Okay, here the section on 1102.3, the Civil Code provide a buyer and the right to recite a purchase contract for at least 3 days after delivery to this disclosure. If the delivery occurs after the signing of the offer purchase, if you wish to resign it, the contract, you must act within the prescribed period. A real estate broker is qualified to advise the real estate. If you desire legal advice, consult your attorney. Okay. So this is actually, we can give the advice. Okay, the real estate broker is qualified to advise to real estate.
The only thing, because this is talk about the real estate. TDS, we talk about a house, but we are not qualified to disclose our what? SPQ, seller property questionnaire, because those are whatever that happened in the history. This is the subject of the house, right at this moment. We certainly can, advise the tenant, the seller, what to fill in, but you don't fill in for them. Same thing, okay? You don't help them to do all the check mark and writing anything on the form. But you can certainly, give them advice, how to properly fill in the form. Especially, yeah, I know they don't understand English and they don't know what they are talking about. Clear on this one? Okay, good.
Now we'll go on to SPESA, Seller Statewide Buyer and Seller Advisory. Then after this, then we will finish all the disclosure statement. I think, because last time I covered all the form. Or if you guys, remember which one is I'm not covered, yeah, please say so. Yeah. This is 11 or 12 pages now. I know it used to be 10, now 11.
They keep on adding up more pages.
Okay, the physical condition of the land of improvement being purchased are not guaranteed by the seller or broker. All right. You should conduct thoroughly investigation of the property, both personal and with the property professional. If you're any concern, just have to do it, on all the inspection or investigation as you wish. If the professional recommend the further inspection, you should contact the qualified expert to conduct such inspection. Like what?
If if they tell it's a black substance, looks like mold, and the inspection report, and if the buyer really concerned,
then we do the mold inspection. Don't stop them.
Well, I can say a seller kind of stupid. Why? Because before you put on the market, you should clean it up. Easy, right? Do you guys know how to clean the mold? On the black substance, on the ground, or maybe around with the shower area, or bathtub? Huh? Adding water, not all bleach though. Bleach is too strong. Adding some water, okay? Make sure when you do it, when you spray, wear a gargle because it will burn your eyes, okay? Spray it out along with it, sit about 10-15 minutes, then brush it, clean it up. Yeah. That's it. If you do it yourself. Better yet, hire the professional maid, clean it up.
I know people want to save a couple
$100.
Yeah. And then end up, cost more money. Because that actually you can avoid it. Especially, some of Sometimes, you know, you got the one of the black substance on
the top of the ceiling of the bathroom. Yeah, it is a mold.
We all know that, but the issue is, you know, you can clean it up. Okay, you should retain your own professional even if the seller or broker has provided you the existing report.
Just like, you know, I told my buyer yesterday, hey, look, you know, if we want to submit the offer, if we get the house, then we better hire another inspector. But I know this buyer, he's cheap. Every time we submit the offer like that, he will use someone else's report. Then I gotta have to make him to sign the inspection waiver. Okay, if you know, even we saw the inspection report from the previous buyer or from the seller they provided, but if you don't hire it yourself, okay, first of all, you can after whatever the inspection, if anything wrong with it. Second of all, you gotta need to sign an inspection waiver because you did not pay the money, you did not hire for yourself. If anything, people were concerned, you may hire like what, roofer, plumber, any contractor, you know, if you have any concern for the, or civil engineer for the structural or soil, okay, geological, or sometimes you need to hire somebody to do the surveyor for the boundary. Somebody really concerned about that, okay? Yes. That's okay, most of the buyers, they're cheap. Unless you buy the $1 million house, okay, yeah, they don't mind to spend the money because all the inspection when it adds up is all the money. You have the right to request the seller make repair and correction, take over the action based on the inspection or disclosure, but the seller is not obligated to make any such repairs, correction, and other requested actions. Seller deny everything? Yes. But do you really have to, you know, doing the disclosure statement? Well, I mean, when they're doing it, I know it's like when they're doing the counter, I know a lot of people that probably, you know, do it sole assets with assets present condition with no repair, no termite, not even report, okay? No termite report and completion. Oh, boy. Yeah, I have one just like that right now. But we figure it's an investment property, it's a townhouse. And that's the time, you know, when I submit the offer, I haven't even seen the house yet. I submit the offer when I get on the plane, you know, in Taipei. Yeah. Otherwise, I cannot catch, otherwise, I may miss the boat. When I get off the plane, I receive the multiple counter. Say the multiple counter. Yeah. So we hammer the deal. Yeah. Buyers in Taiwan. I was in Taiwan. We both discussed, you know, on the iPad. All right, let's do the offer. Yeah. So by the time when I get back, yeah, everything, you know, looks, you know, pretty good. They want us to, you know, remove contingency within 5 days. Yeah. So what? Sign it first. Why? It's not gonna. There's no way we can remove it because they cannot even provide the document enough time. Why? Because HOA document, right? Disclosure statement. All right. And one of the seller passed away, so they gotta have to, you know, redo the escrow instruction. Yeah, we just removed yesterday. And that's, yeah, about to close a couple of days later. 2 weeks escrow. So those are you looking at. You have to get it first. You don't have to against the seller because deep in your heart, you know they won't have enough time. Well, even they prepare everything. I have to do inspection. I do it, right? Okay. Then usually, oh, okay, negotiating with the repair. Just like, you know, I negotiate with all the requirement. I know they will not repair anything. That's fine because I figured out it's a rental property. As long as working condition, yeah, that's okay. The rest of them, you know, when I take over, just paint it, do the minor repair, the leaking, water leak, drainage.
I can put on the market, $2,200. Yeah. So those are, you're gonna have to find a jewel. You know, still you can find a great property, great price. You know, well, not exactly the, well, I cannot say great price because we pay $22,000 more than asking. 22,000, yeah, that's about 5%. 5% more. That's how we hammer the deal with all cash. So doesn't mean, you know, the cash buyer, they won't pay less. That's the time, you know, the same community. I have the buyers of financing. Okay, we submitted about 30,000 over asking. We still didn't get it because the cash buyer, they submit $32,000 more than asking. Hammer the deal. Asking for 419, we submitted 450, and end up, you know, we look at it close about 10 days or 2 weeks, 452, all cash. I tell my buyer, hey, what can I say? I told you, you have to push higher. No, that's high enough. Someone is higher. What can I say? Yeah. So that's why, you know, a lot of people think the real estate will drop. Depend on the area and the price. If you talk about $1 million house, yeah, kind of, it may drop. But if you talk about anything under $600,000, but depend on area. If you talk about $600,000 in Irvine, that's a cheap property. Do you think everybody beating each other? Yeah. But if you talk about $600,000 Eastville, Ontario, forget it. Take your time. Yeah, different area. Just like you can probably go down the Barstow, okay? Doesn't really have to go. Victorville. I know last time, Victorville. Well, you can get a 3,000 square footage house, $300,000. They don't even have I don't think they have a house over 600. Or if you go down the LA, West LA area, 600 in your dream, nothing out there. Not even a 1-bedroom condo. So it's different. It's different. Yeah. But I mean, in general, okay, that's why the greater LA area, the median price right now is a 600,000, a little bit over, 605. Yeah. So if you keep it at anything under that price, usually it was still, you know, pretty hot. If $1 million to 2 million, yeah, it still slow down. 700, 800,000 will slow down. But if you passing Chino, go further east, you're gonna have to adjust, you know. Probably 400,000 is a median price over there. Not 600 anymore. For 600, oh, that's a luxury house, just like $1 million house here. Yeah. Okay. If the seller unwilling or unable to satisfy your request and you act within a certain time period, you may have the right to cancel the agreement. The purchase agreement and any counter offer addenda together are the agreement. If you cancel outside of this period, you may be breached the agreement and your deposit might be risked. That means if you remove the contingency and you still cancel, well, seller can fulfill your deposit. But we have to educate, especially the people from Asia. When we lay out a deposit, we can still have the right to get back within the contingency period. Because I know that I heard in Asia it's different. When you lay down a deposit, if you cancel, a deposit gone. Not here. So you gotta have to educate. Don't assume buyer they know. So every time you repeat and repeat and repeat to reinsure the buyer, you have the right to get, I cannot say all the money back. Why? Because escrow now will charge you cancellation fee. It's not going to be free anymore, okay? None of the escrow, they're stupid now. Okay. They will charge you a couple $100, $200, $300 cancellation fee. Because too many cancellation. Few years back, yeah, this free, that free, fine. Not anymore, okay? Just like, Do we still get a cellular phone for free? Hardly, right? Did you sign up a contract? You can still get free cellular phone?
No.
But if you talk about years back, when you guys are all kids, all right? We get the free phone. Yeah, free phone. Well, certainly, when the phone just started, no, they not. Like 30 years ago, yeah, 30-some years ago, I already get a cell phone. But those are big one, you can only talk about 15, 20 minutes and out of battery. Those are not free, and we count by minutes. Okay? Those are the time is not. But in between the era, and they compete each other, and certainly, you got a flip phone, everything, they're getting smaller. It's free. But once they're getting the smartphone, before Apple coming out, what do we have? Anybody remember? Before Apple. Nokia doesn't have a smartphone back then, not yet. Yeah. BlackBerry. Handspring. You totally forgot about that brand. Used to be is the Palm Pilot. If you guys remember, well, guys, yeah, because I'm using the smart device long time ago, 20-some years ago. Using the Palm Pilot, for the, so that's why I never use a notebook. The Palm Pilot is more like a smartphone with all the screen, but I put everything, on that, with a note, appointment book, everything, and I sync with my computer, synchronize with my computer. Yeah, when you still were kids, I'm techie, love that, still. Just like, I just replaced my hard drive on my Apple notebook. Yesterday, I bring it in. I have to restore. Good thing, I don't know why. Every time I say, oh boy, that's why I gotta have to. I mean, if you guys have a notebook, remember to back up, all right? Because you don't know when is your hard drive will die. Even a notebook I've been using for about almost 8 years now, 7.5 years to be exact. And still going strong. This is my 3rd hard drive. Everything working, but hard drive. So you gotta have to back it up. And same thing. The good thing is, you have to. Then I do not lose anything. I back everything up because I back up the data every week. It takes a long time to restore everything because I got a 1 terabyte hard drive. Yeah. I did not replace the computer, and you know what? When I sent to the Apple, they cannot do the service anymore because they say, "Oh, yours is a vintage model." Yeah. Very polite, huh? Vintage model. But actually, yours actually run about the same, like the current one. It's just because I bought it at 2011. Yeah, and it's considered vintage model already. Well, I say, well, I'm driving a car only for 15 years. That's a vintage.
So during this period, basically you can, cancel. But can you extend the contingency period? Yes. If the seller did not provide all the document to you, then you tell the listing agent, look, you're still missing this, you're still missing that. How do you want me to remove? Just like, the seller want me to remove the contingency within 5 days. Come on, where's the disclosure statement? Oh yeah. That's basic. You haven't even given to me on the disclosure statement. Oh, the escrow, yeah, they need to revise. Prelim, NHD, HOA, I list everything. You got nothing to me. You tell me to remove contingencies in 5 days? It's not going to happen. So they rush everything. Finally, by the time, when I removed yesterday, that's about 12 days. But if they're still missing something, can I extend it? Yes. I will not remove it until all the documents is here. And don't be naive, if you remove earlier, okay, you have no control with the listing agent. They may be missing this document, they may be missing that. It's hard to push. Just like, did you guys, ever have an issue by the time when you finish almost finish, well, when you close the transaction, close the escrow, and the buyer is still missing VP, verification of the property. That's, for the final walkthrough. They just won't give it to you.
What can you do? So make sure, if I will tell you, no VP, no keys. Believe me, they'll rush. Yeah, because if you give them the keys and remote, do they really care? Did they turn in the VP if their company got careless of paperwork? And if we don't complete the paperwork, we don't get paid. Okay? Yeah. No. Yeah. If I'm the listing agent. Yes, I'm the listing agent. I'm the seller. Because sometimes the buyer, they got ignore it. Okay? They got like naked. They just don't care. Okay, fine. But you gotta sign it. That's because the last thing, we're gonna make sure you are satisfied the condition. That's very important. Okay, that just remember is that if, for example, what I just tell you, if the seller promised to do the repair and that's a final walkthrough, you're gonna have to go through everything you satisfy. Otherwise, buyer can after the seller anytime they want to. Yeah, you didn't do this. Yes, I did. How do you prove it? Final walkthrough. You didn't complain anything of an item I did not install or whatever the current condition is. I mean, you satisfy. If you didn't put any items on the final walkthrough paperwork, then I mean, you satisfy. But on the other hand, you cannot use a final walkthrough item if the seller missing anything to delay close of escrow. That's another thing I got to tell you. Okay, you cannot use a VP to delay closing escrow. You say, I walked through the property, seller still missing this, then I won't wire the money, or I do not close the escrow until seller finish all the items. Can you do that? No. Okay, on the VP, if that form, I'll go through later. That is actually was stated. We cannot delay the escrow because, the seller did not complete it. Even the seller already promised through the request for repair, everything. But if the seller still did not complete it after close of escrow or right on close of escrow, what do you do? Bring the seller to small claim court? Yeah, that's it. But if they're really small items, who pay? Yeah, right. Buyers? Huh. Yeah. Buyers say, hey, agent, it's your responsible. That's what I hire you for. Being an agent pretty vulnerable. Sometimes we gotta have some spare money to do this, do that. Okay, all right. So that's why we don't give the money, to the seller. I mean the buyer, unless you feel something, or the seller, okay, or some of a buyer, if they are not really loyal, okay, and you have an argument between the credit because of repair. I will give up on my commission partially, sometimes even half of them, to hammer the deal. Why? Because if I lose the deal, buyer may not come back to me. So if I still have few thousand dollars, and I figure out if it's worth it, I'll do it. But I won't give up on my money in the beginning. If some people call you, hey, how much you gonna give me the kickback? What the heck you are? We don't even have meet each other. What house or how much do you want to buy? Usually, I won't give up anything until we go toward close to the end of close of escrow. But I do not promise you anything. I talked to the buyer very politely. He said, "Why you give me the money?" Oh, well, the buyer said, "Why you give up your commission to the money?" Because I told him, I said, if you don't buy it, you'll regret it. So I'm willing to help you. Because I don't want you to, blame on me. So I'm willing to go all the way to help you. Because on the other hand, I know if I miss this, you will find another a buyer's agent. Because when I get you this property, you have other agent helping you submit other offer. Do you think you're loyal? No way. If I still have a few $1,000, 5,000, 6,000, I'll do it.
Better than nothing. That's right. And move on. So I will not. So you figure it out. I do not wasting my time when I do the whole transaction. If you cancel, I'm wasting my time. I rather work cheaper, instead of nothing. But that's, then move on to the next case. But I would not give up, or I would not tell any buyer, say, how much kickback I give it to you. No. No, nothing. Because I don't know what's going to happen at the end. Yeah, it may happen. Okay, the term of the purchase agreement and any counter offer addenda establish your right and responsibility. So whatever the seller, whatever the addenda is, both parties have to sign it. It's a responsibility. And you are strongly advised the investigator condition is suitable of the all aspect of the property. If you do not do so, you are acting against advice of broker. If you don't do the inspection, you are against us. We tell you to do all kinds of inspection. For example, if the buyer doesn't do not just say the seller say, I'm not going to do the termite report and the termite completion. Am I going to have the buyer signing a waiver? Yes, because we don't do the termite either. Just like the property, what I just said about the close, that one is in condominium, okay, the townhouse. Well, I figured HOA was taking care of it. How bad can it be? So that's fine. If a single family, definitely I will have the inspector, the termite inspector coming out, termite company people coming out to the inspection. At least it has a report. Give it to the buyer. So let them decide. Yeah. But sometimes you gotta have to be knowledgeable enough if you want to kind of making a decision for the buyer or seller. Usually, what the question they will ask you? If you were me, what do you do? What do you answer? It could be if you are the buyer or if you are the seller. What you will do? No. I say, great question. First of all, I'm not you. It's really hard to answer. Even I am you. You may not, whatever the answer, would you consider? You're going to have to ask them, whatever I'm telling you, would you consider? Absolutely. Okay, great. Then I will give you the critical analysis. Do you think it's a critical? Yeah, smart. Hey, but you have to act, right? We are the performer in front of a seller and buyer. We are the performer. You have to perform. Okay? If I tell you wear the mask, I'll wear a mask. Yeah, we're the performer. Then you can, it is, it's information, but it kind of tour in my favor. If the seller say, should I sell the house? Oh, that's a great question. Should I rent it or sell it? No brainer. You ask me, I would never tell you to sell it. Right? Yeah. What can I say? I mean, unless you know the price they want, you're going to deliver. Then I say, well, I don't think I can help it with the price you want, but I can help you to rent it. That's different, okay? But it really depends. Hey, I will, no matter what, I'm going to get your business anyway. Rent it, sell it, I'm going to make some money. Basically, it's no free phone call, no free conversation. Just like you consult with an attorney, they're going to cost you, right? They're not going to be free. Even during the conversation, hey, clock ticking, right? So the accountant, it's not going to be free. So do you. Okay.
Seller right and the duty. You have a duty to disclose material fact known to you that affect the value or desirability of the property. You are obligated to make the property available to the buyer and have a utility on for inspection as allowed by the agreement.
Do we have an issue if the seller didn't turn on the utilities? Especially what? Gas.
Because gas sometimes take a long time to turn on. Why? Every time the gas company people, they're coming out, they have to come out. It's not an Edison company. Push the button or enter the computer. Okay, electricity's on.
Because I do sometimes when I go out of the country, I forgot to pay my bill. You know, that's my bad habit. Okay, I have to change it. Every time I gotta wait the last minute to pay the bill. Okay, and sometimes you forget. A couple months. They say,
how come you get no power? So, in the middle of the, I'm working. Where's my router? A TV. Everything's gone. So you call it as a company. What happened? You didn't pay the bill. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, here's the account. Blah blah blah.
okay, pay it over the phone. The good thing is, 5 minutes later, boom, it's back on.
All right. Yeah. Well, you guys never have those experience. That's okay. Yeah, I experienced all different kinds of stuff. You think I'm purposely trying it? Just like I pay the gas company semi-annually, right? Okay. But the water company, no.
Because they will attack you on the door if you don't pay.
Better rush it. Give it a check. I just hate to open the mailbox. That's it. And you got too many emails come in, and you may just forsake. You know. I mean, the only thing you can tolerate is the internet got cut off. Okay, fine. That's probably the you don't feel uncomfortable. Okay, you call and they say okay, turn it back on. So I do it on the so internet. The only thing I do the auto payment is internet at home. But that's why the gas company, they have to come out. If you got disconnected, they have to come out and make sure water heater, furnace, everything, and stove. So that's why you gotta have somebody at home. I have a offer, even a cash offer, with delay. Why? Because the seller missing a couple times on the gas company appointment, and we cannot do the inspection. So we did the inspection about 2-3 weeks later. The cash deal can be closed very soon, but we end up over a month, 1 month, because gas company. It's a vacant house, and you think. You give the combo number to the gas company people, they still tag you. Oh, we cannot get in. Yeah, right. I gave you the combo already. So,
right?
Yeah. Oh, we don't know how to use a combo lockbox. Yeah, right. So that's why the gas company, it take a long time to turn it on. So if you could, make sure seller don't get cheap to disconnect everything when they move out. Or if the rental property, when the tenant move out, yes, they will disconnect everything. When you get the listing, make sure you tell landlord, the seller, turn everything on right away when I put on the market. Because when people want to see it, you want to see the light, okay? And you may have to water your lawn. Even I know you probably would never use the gas, but turn on the gas as well, because who knows? Some of our offer could be within a month, a week. Okay. Then I have to. If you accept the offer, the gas is not on. How did they do the inspection? Right. Just like you want people to remove contingency within 5 days. Your gas is not on. How do I do the inspection? Or even you tell them the inspection remove within 7 days. Some of them offer like that. No gas. Whose fault is that? Seller. Okay. Not just the state of SBSA, in some of the area too. Okay. It's not. So that's why it's the seller have to turn on, have all the utility on.
So that the utility is how many days we need to extend after the close of escrow?
Until the utility on, until on my inspection report.
No. I say that because a lot of people, I know a lot of listing agents will let the seller after the close the escrow extend how many days.
Oh, utility. That is negotiable. It's not really the set,
really.
but make sure. Okay, you gotta have to remind listing agent and so to have them to remind seller. Don't cut it off after what? Inspection. We still have final walkthrough.
Yes, that's my question.
Okay, so remind them you could disconnect it right after close of escrow, but make sure I did the final walkthrough first.
But basically, when you cut off, when I move in, I need to get people back again. It's back in that.
Yeah, usually we don't do that as the we just leave it at the as a buyer's agent. At least I'm the responsible buyer's agent. I tell my buyer, say, switch your name before.
Yeah, right.
Before it's disconnected or before we close the escrow, we switch our name to standing by. When we disconnect it, we just actually changing name. So we can, actually tell the company, say that's what we're projecting to close of escrow. Edison company, water company, they need a escrow paper before they turn on. Okay, but you can set up gas company, Edison company to standing by over there. So when they close, you tell them, say, we close escrow today, because those you can just call them by phone call. So you don't, they don't have to come out again. They were glad to do that because gas company, every time they send somebody out, it's wasting their money too. I mean, yeah. So they were just glad to just, okay, we're standing by, and you let me know when it's, switching to the new name. Okay, and you are the seller and the right to duty. Okay, you have a duty to disclose material fact that on the third one. Yeah, the form is not substitute the completing the real estate transfer disclosure statement if you require and any other property specified questionnaire and disclosure. So SBSA even is the of our final defense for disclosure, but since it's all pre-printed, it's not like you fill it in. So it cannot be substitute to DDS and SPQ, settled property questionnaire and transfer disclosure statement. This one just addition, supplemental. Just like, our escrow instruction, if you look at it, it's a supplemental purchase instruction. Our purchase agreement, that's a main instruction. The escrow instruction is supplemental, secondary. And the term of the agreement establish your right and responsibility. Broker right and duty. Broker do not have expertise in all area and material affecting the property on your evaluation of it. What I'm telling you, play dumb, okay? Don't be volunteer, do this, do that, okay? Even I know I can do a lot, okay? Oh, I'm not the expert. But when I'm telling plumber or telling contractor, I don't know what's wrong with it. But I'm not the expert. Well, you don't carry license, right? You don't carry plumber license, you don't carry contractor license, or attorney, or CPA. How do you answer those questions, even you know? I only carry my driver license. And then real estate broker license. That's it. For most sales of a residential property with no more than 4 units, broker have a duty to make the responsible component and diligent visual inspection of the accessible area of the property, disclose to you material fact or defect that the inspection reveal. Anything 4 units or under considered residential. We need the AVID, age and visual disclosure. Okay? But if anything like 5 units and up, no. 5 units and up, we don't even need a TDS or SPQ.
That's considered commercial. Commercial disclosure, easy. What do you disclose? Almost nothing. You only got prelim and NHD, and doing the inspection, that's about it. Yeah, because it's not considered residential. Seller, buyer, you cannot after each other because it's a commercial property.
Many defects in the condition may not be discoverable by the broker
Visual inspection, yeah, because we do the visual inspection. If you have to test it.
If the broker gives the referral to another professional, broker do not guarantee the person's perform. You may select a professional of your own choosing.
So, whatever the refer, the inspector, we're not liable. You're gonna have to tell the buyer that.
Right here. Any written agreement between a broker or either a buyer or seller are both establish the rights and responsibility of those parties. Okay, inspection. Buyer and seller advise that the buyer has the right to obtain the various inspection of the property under most residential purchase agreement. Buyers advised to have the property inspected by the professional property inspection service with the buyer's inspection contingency period.
The buyer's inspection contingency period default is 17 days, but sometimes listing agent may shorten to 7 days or 10 days. If they are not happy with the inspection, go ahead, cancel right away. Don't wait until 17 days, usually. That's why they may shorten that. Especially cash offer, 5 days, 7 days. Yeah. And if you don't want to, a lot of buyers, they are cheap, cash buyer, and they think they're contractor, they don't even do the inspection either. So they say, okay, fine. Then what do? Sign the inspection waiver within 5 days with the buyer.
The inspector generally does not look behind wall or under carpet or take equipment apart. Certain items on the property, such as chimney, spark arrest, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical wiring, pool, spa, septic system, well, roof, foundation, structural items may need to be inspected by another professional, such as chimney sweep, plumber, electrician, pool and spa service, septic and well company, and roofer.
Inspector is a general inspector. They can only inspect whatever
visually. But if you get into detail, then you got to hire the specialist.
Because that's what we call the general inspection. Because when the general inspection, when we hire, if you found something wrong with it, for example, you see the water stain behind in the attic or on the ceiling, then you better hire a roofer, maybe. Sometimes maybe plumber. Why? Because plumbing may go along with the attic area. If you see the water stain, okay, on the ceiling. So, did you ever recommend, if you see let's see, if we see the water stain on the ceiling, would you recommend anything? No. Because it could be roof, it could be plumbing. If you refer to wrong people, who's going to pay to the inspector? You, buyer's agent, all right? So, you gotta have to be knowledgeable. If you don't know, you just tell them, I don't know. It's okay. You say, don't know. No hard feeling. Because it could be a plumber, because you don't know, is it the plumbing go along with the roof, because when they're replacing the brand new piping, they go along with the roof, not underground anymore. Because the concrete, they would not break the concrete foundation. They just go around it, hook it up, your plumbing supply, the water supply, go along with the attic area. If that part is leaking, or if you see, unless you see the roof behind the roof line is with the water stain, okay, then it's roofer. Because in the attic area, behind the roof, okay, those supply with the water stain,
then definitely it's a roofer. Because ceiling, it could be roof, it could be plumbing, because of water drop. Because I had the issue before is the composite shingle roof, and whoever did the roof, they nailed the roof too deep. Then I think they used a long nail, too long, pinched through the plywood. So the water sipping through the nail hole. Yeah. You don't know how many years later, usually the nail punch it in, no problem. But water can penetrate years and years and years and make the hole bigger and bigger.
Finally, it went through.
Go all the way to the ceiling. Yeah. It just happened, when we closed the escrow half a year later. And we called a home warranty company. Home warranty company, that's an existing problem. Which is right? Yeah, true. We don't know. Yeah. So you think you can after seller to pay for it? I try. They're not success. So buyer pay $600. End of story. Yeah. One time I pay if the water leak, window leak, and the listing agent doesn't have money, and the seller said I only want to pay $500. Well, what the installer, because they break the seal, okay, the window seal, because they hire somebody unprofessionally and the phone number is disconnected. After half year later, buyer can sue me. Huh? Anything. How long? 5 years or even longer. If they want to sue you, they will sue you. So that's why the longer we're in this career, how many bombs we carry. You just don't know which one will explode. Yeah. I'm trying not to scare you, but that's how the attorney telling us. How can we avoid a lawsuit? Absolutely nothing. 1/3 of us will get the lawsuit within our career. Yep. Sometimes one lawsuit will kill you. So we are doing very, very careful on every case. If we can resolve the issue by money. Yeah. And the listing agent doesn't have the money, and the seller only want to pay $500. But the job, you have to reseal the whole thing. We have to pump all the silicone along with the roof, because we cannot take out the window again to reseal it, because none of a window installer, they will do that, because they will not honor someone's job, someone install. Okay? So sometimes when you get those flip property, don't get excited. They may use the cheapest material to remodel if you know it's a flip property. Okay? So that the thing would happen. So I end up I pay $1,500 for the repair. In that case, because it's so small. No, buyer can sue me any years. Anything. As long as attorney take the case. That's why we can have E&O insurance. But our E&O insurance deductible is $10,000. I mean, within $10,000, everybody share. It's now I pay $10,000, so do the company, but the company only pay 25%. I need to pay 75%. So what do I pay? $7,500 if exceeding the $10,000. That's why we have E&O insurance for. But that case, I only get a commission. I still remember $4,800, and I pay $2,000 away. That's basically I give everything away. Why? What do you think our tax bracket? About 50%. What do I got left? Because I pay them. I cannot deduct it. Right? This is afterward, half year later. But I don't want a lawsuit. Use the money. Issue it. Resolve it. Move on. Make more money. That's it. So I don't give out my money easily because I don't know when down in the future I need to pay what. You just don't know. A lot of people think we're making easy money. They didn't tell you the hard part. This is the hard part. I tell you the truth. Okay? It's not that easy. Okay, and the general physical inspection typically will not test for mold, wood destroy pests, lead-based paint, radon, asbestos, and other environmental hazard, geologic condition, age, remaining useful life of the water, tightness of the roof, cracks, leaks, operational problem associated with the pool or spa connection of the property to a sewer system. If the buyer wants further information on any aspect of a property, broker recommend that buyer have to discuss with the professional property inspector. The buyer hire appropriate professional for the area of concern to the buyer. Broker do not have expertise in this area. Broker do not verify the result of any such inspection, guarantee the performance of any such inspection of service. Any election by the buyer to waive the right to physical inspection of the property and to rely on somebody other than appropriate professional is against the advice of the broker. Now, all inspectors are licensed, and licenses are not available for all type of inspection activities. General inspector doesn't need a license, all right? Just let you know. But rest of them, if you hire the specialist like roofer, electrician, plumbing, yeah, they all need a separate license. And if you know anything you start dealing with the certainly pest control, lead-based paint, the mold, the asbestos, radon. Okay, just for your information, asbestos, if you want to remove it, not any contractor they can remove it. You gotta have the asbestos specialist. It's very expensive. If you found out the old house on the furnace, you know, the wall mount furnace, the chimney go all the way to the roof, that section most likely the old house, I mean probably 1950 or earlier era, if they didn't replace it, that is asbestos. Used to be, they use asbestos for the piping. If you want to cut and remove a regular, okay, aluminum piping or whatever the piping, how much is that? $1,000 per pipe. It's not cheap. You don't call any contractor, hey, cut it. No, believe me. Most of a contractor, if the licensed contractor, they will not do it unless you find somebody without license. Because the dust, it may spray over the house. Yeah. If the buyer doesn't care, doesn't mind, that's fine. But I mean, during the inspection area, we did, credit to the buyer because the do have the asbestos vent pipe going up. I said and I called the contractor. I say, is that right? How much it costs? They say, yeah, about $1,000. So we have two. So we give it $1,000 to the buyer. Buyer accepted. That's fine. Shut up. Otherwise, suppose it costs $2,000. Suppose for the license asbestos specialist to remove it. As long as the buyer is happy, that's it. That's it. So that's why, when we do the repair, we repair some and give it a credit some. Not all of them do the repair. Especially like those items, we don't. Just give it a credit. Or anything, electrician or no ground, or we just ask for the credit. Usually if because older house and buyer will do the remodeling anyway, give it some money and they will do the rest. Number 2, square footage, lot size, boundary, and survey. Buyer and seller are advised that the only of appraiser or the land surveyor as applicable can reliably confirm the square footage, lot size, property concern, and exact boundary of the property. Okay. Appraiser, they can only measure what? The subject property, that means the house or the condo. Surveyor, they are measuring the lot. So if you like to know both size, house, and the lot size, then you gotta hire both. Appraiser won't do the lot, and surveyor won't do the house. Unfortunately, you gotta spend too money if you want to make sure the exact square footage. Representation regarding this item that are made in the multiple listing service advisement and from the property tax assessor recording are often approximation or based upon the inaccurate or incomplete record. Then who's responsible doing the due diligence? Buyer. If the buyer concerned, don't stop them. Since the buyer want to pay the money, go ahead. Yeah. I mean, we can find an appraiser to major, well, most likely if you're financing, bank will hire an appraiser. But surveyor is pretty expensive because very, very few buyer will hire the surveyor. Very few people doing the surveyor. Yeah. They measure the lot. Because they need a license, whatever the measurement, they're responsible for it. Yeah. Whoever measure, they have to authorize it and hold it accountable. So the based on the so the fences, hinges, walls, and other barrier may not represent actual boundary line, unless otherwise specified the broker in writing. I'm not going to write anything like that. You do it yourself. Broker have not verified any such boundary line and any representation made by the seller and others. Broker do not have expertise in this area. Standard title insurance does not insure the boundary of the property. So the title insurance is title insurance also, just based on whatever the title. That's what they insure. That's it. If the buyer wants information about the exact square footage, lot size, location of a property, corner, boundary, broker recommend that buyer hire appraiser or licensed surveyor to investigate this matter or to prepare a survey of the property during the buyer's inspection contingency period. Especially if you have the huge lot, you buy the horse property, acres and acres lot, and say, I want to fence it. Ooh, that's going to be cost you. But if you really want to fence your own lot, then you gotta have to hire the surveyor, because you don't want to fence someone else's lot, the fence. So gonna make sure it is right on your boundary. Just like, I helped the buyer to get also 25 acres horse property. You want to make the fence? Good luck. Or I help the buyer buying those 10 acres lot in the middle of out there. I don't know, forget about what city is, the breeding dog. I mean, you cannot breed a dog here at home because you do have a limitation of numbers. They're breeding dogs, so they for selling. Yeah, and if you talk about $100 parking, drive you crazy, right? So you gotta have the way out there, and the city have to permit it. Buyer seller advise, that the real estate in California is subject to setting the slippage, contraction, expansion, erosion, subsidence, earthquake, and other land movement. The property may be constructed on field or improperly compact soil and may have inadequately drainage capacity. Any of this matter can cause structural problem to improvement on the property. Civil and geotechnical engineer are best suitable to evaluate soil stability, grading, drainage, and other soil condition. Additionally, the property may contain known or unknown mines, mills, caves, wells, Broker do not have expertise in this area. If the broker want further information, broker recommend that buyer hire a appropriate professional. Not all inspectors are licensed, and licensee are not available for all type of inspection.
What we will see the most, we are more likely here, because we do have an earthquake, now the landslide.
Because when a landslide happen, the homeowner, they can sue anybody, even they have their house for years. And you disclose, we have this form, but the attorney can still get their money and sue the buyer, company, everybody, and seller.
When they sue, not just suing the buyer's agent, buyer's brokerage, listing agent, listing broker, and seller. It could be also insurance company, okay, if anything happened.
Just like, if you buying those house right on, say, for example, on the property right on Azusa and Amar, okay? That's what I found out the right pronunciation should be Amar, but we all call Amar. If I say Amar, what street? Amar. But I mean, that, used to be a dumpster, just like 3 Oak, okay? That field. $1 million house sit on the trash. It is, though. If you look at the past history in the early 80s, that's a dumpster. The dumpster over there that you have to pack, right? Then if you did not pack hard enough, if the earthquake or anything happened, or a pouring rain like used to be, is it the foundation will shaking? Yeah. Or if any in your house sitting on the old oil field, so that means you sit on the big hole on the vacant, right? Because it used to be they drill. Like where? Brea? They have a drilling, okay? Some of a newer house, right on Lambert, north side, okay? Or your Belinda. New house, they sit on the old oil field, the field, probably 20 years ago, but he actually sit on the hole,
right? Because empty. But with the earthquake,
did you ever consider they will collapse? That's why I don't buy the new house. And who buy the new house? Typical Asian. As long as new, that's fine. They don't know what's underneath. Do you think you're sitting on a potential danger? Yeah. That's why builder, they all disclose to you. They have to. It's your own will you want to buy. When the earthquake comes, don't complain. Your house may fall, right? Okay. Just like, a Malibu. $1 million house. Went on the cliff. Landslide. Can I rebuild the house? I can, because my land is gone. Which is true, yeah. My land is gone. Total loss. Total loss. So that's why, this part,
we don't give it anything. It's like we disclose as much as we can. If we know the previous history of the property, I will disclose it. I try to, tell the buyer, say, if I were you, I won't buy it. But if you insist to buy it, I did disclose it. Make sure you sign it. And don't sue me, okay, when accidents do happen, especially earthquake.
Geologic hazard. Buyer and seller advised that California has experienced earthquake in the past, and there is always potential future earthquake danger caused by the earthquake may not be discovered by a visual inspection of buyer or broker. Inspection by the licensed qualified professional is strongly recommended to determine the structural integrity, safety, and all structure and improvement of the property. If the property is the condominium or located in a planned unit development or the common interest subdivision, buyer is advised to contact the homeowner association about the earthquake repair or retrofit works on this possibility of the increase or special assessment to defray the cost of an earthquake repair and retrofit works.
If the HOA doesn't have the earthquake insurance, can you buy it yourself? Townhouse PUD, no, because you're within the community. Good luck, or you don't buy it. That's it. So that's why the seller gave it the HOA document, because that's including the master insurance, and you can see the coverage. Okay, if you do concern, some people are really concerned, just like some people, they cannot live the home without the alarm. They really concern the bad people. Yeah. So they gotta have an alarm system. They gotta have a high fence, a privacy, everything. So everybody's different. And just like, some people are really concerned of earthquake, and make sure the HOA do have an earthquake insurance. If not, make sure you tell them. Okay, so that's why sometimes when the HOA document, at least you kind of flip through. I know hundreds of pages. I know it's tired, but kind of look through, maybe the CCNR, okay, what the restriction is, and also the master insurance, is what the coverage is. See if they have any earthquake. If you are so concerned on whatever the question may be, and you hate to read it, fine, call. Okay, we have mouth. Call the HOA company, got it? And ask those people directly. And if they do, okay, you better dig it in, highlight it, and make sure the buyers see it on their master insurance plan. Just like, somebody tell me to say, okay, listing agent, please read the inspection report. Okay, and I read the whole thing. Just like, for example, the fireplace, I say, I asked them, did the fireplace working, condition, or operational? Why I'm asking that? Because I know usually they don't inspect it. But the listing agent answered me, why don't you read the inspection report? Fine. And what do I reply to? On page number 8, paragraph number 7, inspector say it's a visual inspection. Please check with the seller. That means what? I read it. Yeah. Don't fool me. You tell me to read it? Okay, I will. So that's why don't get lazy to read those documents, because eventually you will, educate yourself. The more you read, every time you're getting faster and faster. You know where to pick the. Do you think I really read the whole thing? You see the title first, then you read it, right? Because where is that most likely? Title, inspection report, HOA. What do you see the most? You don't have to read a minute or something. Those are corporation paperwork. Useless. You read what? CCNR. That's more important to the buyer, right? All right. That's for the rules and restriction. That is important. Master insurance. Those are important. Okay. You read those. The rest of them, just okay. Kind of flip through. Okay. Yeah. Because those are, you will get, cause of violation, or could be the citation, or whatever it may be. That's, for the CCNR. Sometimes you can flip through, okay, see if they have a money reserve, the balance, okay? So, negative? Oh. Overspending. Because I see on the HOA, they have a reserve over $1 million. That's very rich. Why? Wow, because they got a really, really cheap, stingy president, HOA president. Well, not really though, because I asked the seller, I say, oh, seems like everybody will replace the same color and same type of a window. Yeah, because, the double panel window, the whole community, HOA pay for it. Everybody get the double panel windows and sliding doors. Did you ever see those HOA? Not here. Not around here. Because they have money. They're replacing all double panel window for every unit. Oh, that's a lot of money. You probably feel a few $1,000s per unit. Come on, well, you got 100 units. Hey. Yeah. The HOA fee, they are also pretty decent, about $350. They're including a lot, but it's a really first time I see the HOA replacing all windows. All low E double panel window. It's a nice windows. All of them. Yeah. Because, you know, we saw the HOA president. He's a gardener. Wow. Doing all he tried to save the money for the whole community. So every day what he does, he's a retirement people. That's what I saw, doing all the landscape himself. So he can save the gardening fee. Yeah. 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 No wonder they have reserved over $1 million. But when I see those the community in Monterey Park or Alhambra, negative. Overspending. So that means they have to ask more money or increase the HOA. You see the potential issue come out. And those it could be hard to finance. So then when I saw those listings, what I did, I have to call HOA. Can you redo, because I read it, can you redo your balance sheet? I don't think bank will finance. I don't care how you do it. Because usually bank have to see the 10% of a total collection reserve minimum as your, you know, you say if you collect $100,000, then you gotta have $10,000 reserve over there. You cannot be negative. Yeah. So sometimes the low HOA, don't get excited. They will get you when they say, oh, we're gonna have to repair the roof. We have to do the painting. Every unit, come on, pay more money. Yeah, it's not gonna be free. You don't pay? Oh, we'll put the lien on your property. Okay, and here, okay, the earthquake. Geologic hazard. Stop here. Okay, buyers are encouraged to obtain read the booklet entitled "The Homeowner Guide of the Earthquake Safety." We have those, you know, in our zip form. So email it to them. If you don't, ask the booklet from the front desk. You know, you can give it on a hard copy to the buyer. In most cases, questionnaire within the booklet must be completed by the seller and the entire booklet given to the buyer if the property was built prior to 1960. Why? Because before 1960, most likely it's a raised foundation. Remember I told you before, the raised foundation, the old building earthquake code is 12 feet apart. After 1960, 6 feet apart. So you got to see if they, you know, enforce and put an extra stud on the bottom when they do, you know, when you inspect the raised foundation. If you put in, you know, every 6 feet have a stud, okay, the support, then they do comply with that. If not, well, then buyer may spending a little bit more money, have to get extra support. I mean, the seller, they can turn down and say, I'm not going to do anything. That's fine. But yeah, you got to have to, you know, mention to the buyer. If the property was built before 1975 and contains structure, construction, masonry, and precast tilt-up concrete wall with the wood frame floor, roof, or if the building has enforced masonry wall, then seller must provide a buyer a pamphlet entitled "The Commercial Property Owner's Guide to Earthquake Safety." Many areas have the wide range of geologic problem, and numerous studies have been made of this condition. Some of this information is available to public review at City of County Plan Department. Buyers are encouraged to review the public map reports and or obtain a geologic inspection report. Brokers do not have expertise in this area. Buyer may be able to obtain earthquake insurance to protect your interest in the property. Seller who agree to provide the financing shall also consider require buyers to obtain such insurance, naming seller as insured lien holder. Sometimes, you know, if there's a financing, okay, if the
if the seller, the last thing is that when that means who agreed to provide financing, that means the owner carry. Okay, if the owner carry the loan, who's going to be the beneficiary? Seller, part of it. Just like if you do the proper way to do the renter insurance is the tenant insure and beneficiary, not just the tenant, also landlord. That's a proper way to do the renter insurance. But a lot of Asian tenant, they ignore the insurance. They don't even have the renter insurance. It's up to the listing agent to, or I mean the landlord to enforce it. Okay, so here, you know, you're pretty clear, you know, for the earthquake. If if the buyer concerned, then definitely, you know, just like if the condo PUD, check on the HOA, master insurance. If the single family, then that's fine. Just, you know, have them give a quote from the insurance company, how much, you know, going to be cost them for the regular homeowner insurance, the fire insurance, and also the earthquake insurance. Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll stop here. Then we'll continue on the paragraph number 5 on Thursday when we come back. Yeah. Yeah, 12 pages now. Okay. That's okay. We won't finish until like after Chinese New Year. Oh, probably I could. I could finish, you know, by the next Thursday.